In today's Weekend News Roundup, Virgin Islands Territorial song replaces God Save Our Queen for the first time in history. Long-standing educator Mrs. Kirlin Lettsome has transitioned. Erickson's appeal to reverse extradition order has been denied, likely to be extradited. Jose Almestica charged in Deverson William's murder. New allocation made to funds received from money services tax in support of local athletes. Festival-related events are largely incident-free. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Saturday, August 13th, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Saturday to each and every one of you. I trust you're having a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. You're watching 284 News. The Virgin Islands Territorial song has officially replaced God Save Our Queen for the first time during Kirlin McMaster's victory on August 6th, 2022. Take a look at this historic moment.
British Virgin Islands.
Former Sports Minister Myron Wallen first made the appeal for the replacement after McMaster won a gold at the Commonwealth Games in Australia in 2018. Mr. Ephraim Penn, president of the BVI Olympic Committee, then began the process of having the song replaced, which was supported by the succeeding Sports Minister, Dr. Natalio D. Wheatley. Now, the accomplishment of finally having the Virgin Islands Territorial song played at international sporting events is one that signifies true Virgin Islands pride. Earlier this week, it has been confirmed that Mrs. Kirlin Lettsome, long-standing educator and former principal of the Almestica Primary School, passed away on the evening of August 6, 2022, while in the United States receiving medical treatment. Mrs. Lettsome was the wife of Dr. Quinty Lettsome and mother of 3. In 2015, she was honored by the Almestica Primary School for her long-standing contributions in education. She was also an instructor at the H. Lavity Stout Community College for many years. Tributes have continued to pour in all week from across the BVI and its diaspora, speaking to the significant contributions of Mrs. Kirlin Lettsome in education. The owners, management, and staff of CCT, BVI Cable TV, and 284 Media express our sincere condolences to the family of the late Mrs. Kirlin Lettsome. Nyron Erickson's appeal to have his extradition order reversed was this week denied in the High Court by Justice Richard Floyd. Take a look.
The decision means that Erickson's initial August 13, 2021 order to be extradited to the United States of America will proceed as normal unless another appeal is made, this time to the Court of Appeal. According to the judgment handed down by Justice Floyd, the court found that, and I quote, "it would not be oppressive unjust or an abuse of process for the extradition of the appellant Erickson to proceed. For all the reasons stated, the appeal of the decision of Senior Magistrate Tamia N. Richards dated 30th June 2021 is hereby dismissed pursuant to Section 104(1)(c) of the Extradition Act 2003, Order 2016, Justice Floyd stated. But the High Court judge further said, and I quote, "It necessarily follows that the order of the governor directing the appellant's extradition remains in force, and any companion appeal of that order is hereby dismissed pursuant to Section 109(1)(b) of the same Act," end quote. The judgment further revealed that Erickson's attorney submitted 7 grounds of appeal, all of which were denied. The first ground was for, and I quote, "inadequate particulars," which claimed that the particulars supplied by the USA were inadequate for the purpose outlined in Section 78(2)(c) of the Extradition Act 2003. The position further expressed that the particulars were also insufficient to identify relevant extradition offenses, contrary to Section 137 of the Act. But Erickson's attorney also appealed on the grounds that the extradition would be of, and I quote, "flagrant denial of justice," end quote, warning that his client would not receive a fair trial, which he argued is a breach of Article 6 of the European Convention of Human Rights. But the attorney also listed Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights as another grounds of appeal, stating that Erickson's right to respect for private and family life would be infringed once extradited. Well, abuse of process and unconstitutionality of extradition in the absence of a prima facie case were also other grounds put forward by the attorney. Well, according to the court document, the extradition request is in respect of a criminal indictment issued by a federal grand jury sitting in St. Thomas, USVI on August 1st, 2019. But Erickson and other co-accused were charged with conspiracy to launder monetary funds from outside the USA and unlawfully transporting the funds into the USA. While he and his other co-accused were also charged with, and I quote, 2 counts of concealed bulk cash smuggling in amounts of over $10,000 into the USA. Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Major Crime Team this week on August 10, 2022 charged Jose Almestica, 33, with the murder in the shooting death of Deverson Williams. Almestica, who is being detained at the HM prison in Balsam Gut, awaiting trial on multiple firearm and drug-related charges, was removed from the facility, questioned, and subsequently charged with 1 count of murder. Deverson Williams received multiple gunshot wounds while driving his vehicle on the Fish Bay Road in the daylight hours of March 16th of last year. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Commissioner of Police Mark Collins said these murders and the investigations can be at times lengthy and exhausting, putting the necessary evidence to charge any individual, but dividends are seen in the end. He said, and I quote, "These detectives are unrelenting in their efforts to bring justice in these outstanding murder cases. Many lengthy hours go into collecting the pieces to support a charge as a serious murder. These efforts, however, not only bring closure to the families of victims, but the Virgin Islands community on a whole feels safer." He said, "I applaud these efforts," and noted that the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force continues to seek the public's assistance in ongoing murders. Anyone with information is asked to contact that unit at 368-9339. Again, that number is 368-9339. During the August 9th sitting of the House of Assembly, the territory's legislators moved in favor of an amendment to the Finance and Money Services Act, which reduced the money services levy and added new categories for the use of the revenue gathered from this tax. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, who filed the motion, told the House of Assembly that the money has been allocated to different categories required to help the people of the Virgin Islands in various areas, including noble uses such as elderly care, schools, and athlete support. Dr. Wheatley had previously spoke about his plans to offer greater support to the territory's athletes, though legislative change, while addressing that the press on a recent trip to United Kingdom. Now, though the Premier noted that dedicated funding for athletes has been something he had previously hinted to, particularly during his time as Minister for Sports, he admitted that until he was the Minister of Finance that he could act on these promises.
Not until I was able to get into this seat, this position as Minister of Finance, I was able to make it a reality. It was a priority for me because I wanted to ensure that the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, and Sports had dedicated monies committed to sports that can be put towards the grassroots programs that you speak of. It can be put towards infrastructural development. It can be put towards our elite athletes programs. And it's for the Minister of Sport and the ministry to be able to manage how those funds will be spent.
According to Dr. Wheatley, so far the fund has accumulated about $6 million, some of which he hopes can be used to address the real-life needs of the territory's athletes.
They also have been reviewing and reformulating their sports policy. And there may be some sense that they want to complete the sports policy before bringing a legislation for the Sports Council.
Premier Wheatley also said it is intended that the handling of these government-provided monies at the level of sporting associations and federations will be monitored by a sports council.
In order to better support our athletes, I think for our elite athletes, they need more funding, they need more assistance. When they have injuries, they have training, sometimes just even to survive and pay bills on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to trying to worry about that. All of those things would help them to be able to perform at a better level. And I think if we really want to get where we need to go in sports, we'll have to move to that level.
The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is reporting a largely incident-free August festival as it relates to events specific to the celebration. Acting Deputy Commissioner Jacqueline Vantapool says police coverage to all of the planned events were effective and consistent. While there were minor scuffles, officers quickly separated, she said, persons with the help of citizens attending the Rise and Shine, Tramps, and the Roadtown Village. This is despite to what she says last-minute changes in schedule of events. Now, the operation order is based, she said, on the August Festival schedule, which is discussed in advance with the Festival and Fairs Committee. Officers are assigned to provide security coverage at these specific events. However, last-minute events and adjustments in the schedule timetable that are not communicated in advance are not given the proper security and can put attendees at risk. This is our national celebration, she said, and after 3 years of waiting, we were happy to provide security coverage to the planned events. However, it is difficult to do so if there are too many last-minute events and no consultation with the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, the acting deputy noted. A viewer is also happening this week. The National Security Council, to which the Governor of the Virgin Islands, the Premier of the Virgin Islands, and the Police Commissioner, all members, are expected to make a decision on the ruling on the controversial Police in Paradise video that has caused much uproar in the territory. The governor made this disclosure during a press conference this week. We are still waiting the verdict of that event. Once we do get it, we will share that with you. Viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com, and of course like us on Facebook at 284BVI and 284media on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. I will see you on Monday as I deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Thank you so much for joining me for this weekly news roundup. Have a happy Saturday, everybody, and have a beautiful rest of the day. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, I can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I even watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.